Yeah, the only thing I want to say in my opening statement here is our guys had a lot of decisions this year, um, in terms of fouls and penalties and goals. And I'll be curious once again. When you look at the play with Kevin Cabral, who gets in 1v1 and goes knee to knee with a guy, and he has the ball and makes a move, that it gets called a penalty, and then determined it was clear and obvious that it's not. These things determine games. We see contact there, and it looks really close. And we've been on the wrong end of these things, and it's again, we're playing in these games, and we're in every game, and every time it's moments, and that's just another one to add to the long list now for the Colorado Rapids. And by the way, I don't make excuses, but I have to say the reality that the Colorado Rapids, these players, I don't think they get the calls and the respect that they earn and deserve week in and week out.
Chris, Jackson Travis got his first MLS start tonight. What did you see leading up to this, before this, that gave you the confidence that you could put him in the starting 11 tonight?
Yeah, he had a good preseason. He trains well every day. He's engaged. He plays with intensity. He's prideful. He's performed with the second team all year long in a really good way. It's been a long stretch in these last 2 weeks with a lot of games, and his everyday behaviors and attitude and performances give us a lot of confidence for Jack. I'm really proud of him. He went out there and gave everything. So, yeah, we're going to stick to our club philosophy and play young players and believe in young players and validate our academy and our second team. So, yeah, that's it.
Braden Norse, Denver Post.
Hey Chris, thank you for the time. Just on the non-call on the penalty, did you get to see a replay of it since? Did you have any discussion with the ref or any of the assistant refs at that time, and how did those go if so?
The referees make their decisions. Nothing would change that. I had zero discussion with the referee. Yeah, we watched it after the game, and we see knee to knee. The player running through, Kevin, there's contact from the defender. So how close are the margins? Can they prove there's no contact for it to be clear and obvious? Yeah. No, I didn't. I had no discussion with the referees.
Matt Pollard, Bergen New Wave.
Chris, thanks for the time. Walk me through the thought process by the various changes in the lineup. Darren getting a start. You already spoke about Jackson, but Lawless as well, starting at the back. Thank you.
Yeah, we again, Matt, I think we had a busy stretch. Away games, tough games, 5 in 15, 14 days. So, again, I think there's a lot of clubs out there, and their philosophy is different from ours. We try to utilize our roster. We think about the big picture. We play young players, and tonight, Darren Yappy, another guy that's performed with the second team, has had a pretty good season so far with us. And when it comes off the bench, oftentimes he's a spark. So, yeah, we can't just run our other players into the ground either. So coming on the road to Vancouver with fresh legs, a rotation, Jackson Yappy, was important for us to do that. So. Same with Moyes. It's a fairly young player in terms of MLS games under his belt, and you can see that Lawless was pretty solid on the night. So I think for large stretches we were on top of things tonight, and that's a credit to the players that were out there, all of them. We hit the crossbar of the post to go up 2-1. I believe would have put us up. So, yeah. We'll We'll be better for it for these games where guys are getting minutes, and it's also important to show belief in those players who are giving an awful lot around here.
Back to Braden.
Yeah, Coach, just given the tough results over the past month or so, or the past couple weeks, tired legs, just those kinds of things maybe makes it good timing for this 2-week break. Just what do you as a coaching staff plan to reflect on and focus on improving before you come back on June 15th?
Yeah, look, when you go through it, Braden, you can see that there probably wasn't a lot of tired legs out there tonight, from the start. It was actually a really fresh, hungry, motivated team, and it gave us the chance to get on top of things. What we have to do, and we've taken a hard look at this, Braden, is take care of these decisive moments, to become a team that can learn to draw these games or win these games when you think you've done enough. So it's part of where we are as a team, that we're a good team. But we are, as I've said almost every press conference, we're becoming the team we want to become. The guys put in an awful lot, and these hurt. These hurt, but we're still young. We're learning. We are a work in progress, and we certainly are making progress. We the halfway point. A couple of big positives on a night where, I won't talk too much about the positives, but every game we're in it. Every game we're pushing teams. Every game we're putting ourselves in chances to win. That's the way we're structured. It's the way they fight. It's the way they run and work for each other. That's not an accident. Therefore, that puts us above the playoff line midway through the year. Big positive, where so many of the critics had us last place. Again, we have a lot of work to do. To answer your question, we'll get back after some days off and get right back to how to take care of the decisive moments, the big moments in each box. But we're going to become more ruthless on each end of the pitch.
Back to Hunter.
Chris, Wednesday night in Houston, I believe what you said about Georgie was there's more to come from him, and now it's 11 goal contributions in 11 games. What can him gaining confidence and being so contributive going forward do for the rest of the group for the second half of the season?
We're going to get on his shoulders a bit, right? We're going to go as Georgie Mihailovic goes. You can see that he can take over games. He can break down back lines. He drew fouls. His final plays, the finish wasn't easy. It's a great goal. Arriving in the right moment into the box. He can hurt teams and help us score goals in many ways. And you can even see defensively tonight, it was a top performance. Kept us organized, helped us be compact. Starting with him and Yapi, but Georgie's he's a coach on the pitch tonight. Showed real leadership. So we'll rely on him. Continue to rely on him. The boys are finding him more often. We have little rotations where we're getting him on the ball more, and he'll be really important for us in the second part of the year.
Back to Matt.
Chris, how do you approach international breaks, just either in general, or how do you intend to, are the players going to get a couple days off, or are you going to spend a little bit more time doing film work? What's your approach in order to take advantage of this kind of time, given you've got a couple players leaving, but also a chance to reset before another busy schedule?
Yeah, Matt, look, they're going to get some days off for sure. A nice break for them. We're a team that sprints and runs more than any team out there, and there's a lot of there's a big cognitive load as well on these guys. We've thrown a lot at them tactically, physically, emotionally. That we've played another night where it's an emotional game, which the boys need a break. So we'll give them that break. They'll take it completely. There'll be no video. They won't hear from me for a few 5 days or so, 4 or 5 days. So which is well deserved and needed. You know, we're healthy, we have healthy bodies, but we do need to get everyone rejuvenated with 2 out of the next 3 games at home. So we're going to come out swinging again, and we're not accepting these results. We think we're good enough to sway these things, and we're going to learn, and I'm going to, with the staff, teach. And how can we get better? And how can I and we help them along? Because it's an attentive group. They're hungry. I see a lot of winning behaviors in our team, and we're going to turn it into wins.
Back to Braden.
On a bit of a lighter note, the women's national team beat South Korea 4-0 at the SGP. Just how much of that did you get to see, and what did you think?
Listen, I saw the national team in our building the other day. It was amazing that they were, you know, our guests for a few days, and I'm red, white, and blue all the way. So I love our national teams. They have great leadership, top player, talent pool. So we're really excited for the national team, for the women's team. We know they're the best in the world, and they're going to keep trying to stay at the top.
Coach, you mentioned the international break. Some of the guys definitely getting some days off. You know, Cole and Moise aren't because of their call-up. So, yeah, maybe they're not getting that physical rest, but how can they capitalize? How can they reset during this time?
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't get a big reset. You know, it's but it's important for those 2 players who are fairly young to go in and take full advantage of the opportunity there. So, listen, both of those guys know how to dig deep, and they'll need to dig deep. Go in there, and when you enter national team camps and Olympic team camps, it's this big adrenaline, big motivation. Everyone's on. You see the best version of everyone. So both of those guys are going to go in there. They're just tremendous young men with big tanks of fuel and emotionally and physically. So, yeah, a little bit rest tonight, get going, and Moise leaves on a. He comes in. Lawless had a little bit of cramping in the hamstring. We couldn't push, so Moise gets a little send off there with some minutes, and I think Cole's been one of the best players in the league this year in his position. So, yeah, we're really excited and supportive of those guys. They're going to do great.